Today I'd like to show how to use MATLAB to import an XLS file, bring that data into MATLAB, do some visualization and analysis on the data, and then finally store it out as a JPEG. Let's begin by looking at the Excel sheet outside of MATLAB. We can see this is a fairly typical Excel spreadsheet. It has some column headers that tell you what each of the rows of data are, and they've done some visualization. To bring this into MATLAB, we're just going to go to the current directory browser and double-click on Spreadsheet XLS. This brings up the import wizard. The import wizard is a way of bringing in any kind of data that MATLAB knows how to read. Had this been an image, MATLAB would have brought it in as a matrix of numbers, where those numbers represent the intensity of the pixels. Had it been a sound file, it would have brought it in as a stream of data with a sampling frequency. In this case, it's going to look at it and say, well, I can bring this in as some column headers and some data, or I could look at this and say, I'd rather bring this in as each column being a column name. And when I do that, now MATLAB is going to bring this in as 3 different vectors. That's how I want to do this, so I'm going to click Finish. When something's brought into memory in MATLAB, it's said to exist in the workspace. So we can go to this tab here and look at the data that we brought into the workspace. Now, maybe we're interested in seeing num and the theoretical plotted, so I'm going to click both of those, holding down Control, and then come here and say I would like to plot this as num versus theoretical. You can see I could also do scatter plots or a variety of others inside of more plots. Here's the plot of the theoretical data curve, and we can see that it looks nice here. We might want to add some more data to this, so I'm going to click on the plot tools. In plot tools, I can come over here and grab the measured and just drag it over here. And we can see those data points are brought in also. Now maybe I'd like to edit this, so I'm going to grab the line objects and come down here and add a marker to them so I can see the actual data points. Then I can select the axes, and maybe I want to give it actual and theoretical as the title. And I could label the y-axis measure or value like this, and so on. So I could make this plot look like what I want. Now I might want to do some analysis on here where I would figure out what the error is between the two of these, and to do that kind of analysis I would go to the command window. So here in the command window I would type something like error is equal to theoretical minus measured, and it's going to do that calculation for me. Back in the figure window, I can see that I have a new variable called error. I might want to add another axis, so I can click here and add as many as I want, but just one more at the bottom is fine. And I'm going to grab error, drag it over, and maybe I'd like to label this some more. So this y-axis might be labeled error. And again, I can click on this, and maybe I'd like to have the marker style be a delta or a triangle here. When I'm done making this look like what I want, I can come here to get rid of the plot tools, and then I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'm going to save this as a JPEG. We'll let it stay as untitled. You can close this now. If I go back to my current directory browser, I can see I have untitled JPEG. If I right-click to open outside of MATLAB, I can see that I've gotten the output just like I had before. Now I can use this JPEG for whatever purposes I want, like reports or so on. Okay, I hope this gives you an idea of what you can do in MATLAB very easily without a lot of programming. And I encourage you to look at other videos that I've made that show you more advanced techniques in MATLAB. Thank you.